So I'm back with another story time. I decided that, I'm gonna go outside, right? Go for a walk with Pepper real quick, because I'm kind of getting tired of like being inside my house and not being productive. So this is just about the other stuff I was going through with what's his face, with my neighbor across the street. So this man, he moves or whatever the fuck into that home prior to the other person. And when we first moved here, we didn't know who these people were or nothing like that. And he puts a Paganini statue outside of his crib. We had conversations. He's like, dude, it's literally a Tiki. But it wasn't. I went viral off of that situation because it was kind of like causing controversy on TikTok, like whether it was like, a racist statue or not. But it was like, it was just something to leave a bad taste in my mouth for whatever reason. And we had a conversation. The dude did not give me the impression that he was racist. He did not give me the impression of any of that. So as time progressed and everything like that, I really didn't have no more interactions with them after they did all that dumb shit, because I felt like, to me, I don't have to be like, you get what I'm saying? I don't have to do all those things to, I don't know. And we never spoke after that because we didn't speak when they first moved. We're not going to speak moving forward. I had one conversation with them, and I literally went to the HOA and let them know what happened. And I felt like at the time, the HOA people did not have our best interests at heart. And we don't have no intentions of moving out of our neighborhood. It's just more so about bringing awareness, because for me, it doesn't matter what color you are. In the state of Florida, I know racism is a prevalent thing, but damaging somebody's thought process about the color of their skin is not okay. And this is a man who has a son. You feel me? You're raising a white son. You feel me? Who's going to be in the world full of Black, Spanish, and all type of people. And for me, I feel like, ignorance is one thing, but when you have this connotation of being ignorant on a scale of where it's like, this is damaging, this is something that it took me back to when I had to learn about my ancestors again. It was humbling because I had white teachers, I had white doctors, I got white friends, and I just feel like there's nothing comparable to these situations. You can't polarize being ignorant with racism. And for me, it's just something I had to go through. And I just feel like it's very important for me to speak on these situations, because I don't want to raise no child in the future to go through that. I don't want nobody to have to go through what I went through. I don't want anybody to move into a gated community and, your neighbors feel like it's A-okay to do something. And what's so funny, by the grace of God, they swapped out the people for the board of directors and everything else. So the people are still over there, but we don't have no confrontation. I let him know how I felt about it. I spoke to the board of directors, but it was just very humbling in that situation. I always think about it like, oh my God. So I don't know what's going on in the future for these people that do stuff like that, but I just feel like when someone does something to you based off of your race, your sex, or your color, they're a hateful person. And I went to a school that was LGBT friendly, and what's funny is Caitlyn Jenner went to that school and spoke up for transgenders and whatever. And I'm not the LGBT savvy person, because I have my viewpoints on the world and stuff like that, but I accept everybody for who they are. You feel me? I'm not perfect. There be times where I be saying some salacious ass things. You feel me? Everybody's capable of being mean and disrespectful, but a changed behavior is accountability, and that's all I want. I want people to have accountability for, their actions, because going viral on TikTok is not enough. Like, what are you going to do about it? Like, are you going to raise your kid to be that way? Are you going to raise your kid to just brush off situations that you feel like is not that crucial? Like, what was your end goal? And this is my thing when people do stuff. Like, do you have an end goal for what you're doing? They don't have an end goal. Niggas just be doing shit for the hell of it. And that's what I realized once I came to Florida. Like, certain people certain people do stuff to get a rise out of people, knock you off your position, get you locked up in jail, especially if you black, brown, Spanish, and it's just fucked up. That's just the reality of the world that we have, especially when you're black and you have abundance. Come on, there's things flying from the sky, and I had to realize that. So I'm gonna just drop the receipts in this video too, and this video is just to talk about everything that happened to me in 2021, because I told you guys that I was going to bring more content. So I feel like I got all these stories, I might as well just start chattering it up. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. I'm gonna add the clips from TikTok on here, and you give me your viewpoint on how you feel about this situation. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys.
What it's like living in a gated community being black in Florida.
Okay, so for the last time, I'm tired of people saying this is a tiki. Does this look like a tiki to you? It was a black-faced man drinking. He said it was a tiki, right? Do you not see this? And if I wish I had a better picture, the whole hat on top of it was tribal. It's not a tiki. I'm about to show y'all pictures of tikis. This is offensive as fuck. And I'm not even saying this to do it for clout. Enlighten yourself. Take a closer look. I zoomed in as possible. The statue's eyes was bugged out like this. His tongue was hanging out, and it was all white in his big lips. Now, what else do I have to say? You feel me? Okay, so in the last clip, the last TikTok that I posted, right, everybody was asking me, is that a racist doll? It's called a lawn jockey legend. My cat's meowing. Hold on. He wants water. But basically, this is basically used as during the Jim Crow time period to let slaves know that with there is freedom, right? So I'm trying to figure out, why would that be necessary? And at that time, I was outside fixing my dad's lawn, and the guy kept looking back and forth at me, and I told him that is offensive, and that there are black and white kids and other kids of all races that live in here that should not be predisposed to see this at this age. So that's what it is, right? You can see some people say that it's not racist, but it was blackface. And when you search up blackface, search up Jim Crow era, and then you'll know what that is, and then you could speak your piece about how you feel about it, or all right, this is the grass after I replaced it. I literally did this shit myself. So I hit it with an axe on some Abraham Lincoln shit, and I did this shit myself. And they drove by. The people from the complex even said, yo, you was really out here working hard. You did a good job. And then she laughed, right? Because you could tell. Look at the indentation at the end. I'm not no gardener. So this was my first time actually doing something like this, right? Smokes. So I really was out there busting my ass. Now, hold on. As you can see, I had replaced all of this. I only had little pieces. Little pieces started turning brown now. All of that I replaced. Like, I really was out there busting. I was really out there busting my ass. No cap. Yeah. I also forgot to mention that we also hired outside services to help our property. Even after we spent all that money, the property got damaged again. Because you know what it was? It was them trying to step away from me having a lawn mowing business. And I even made flyers at a point in time, because I was thinking, like, if my father made these investments on these lawn equipment, I could also do that. But it never went anywhere. So after that happened, I just chilled out. Like, I don't even cut the grass no more, because it got damaged. And it's like, I don't want to have the hopes of going outside and trying to keep this place upkeep, and somebody decides to just damage it again because they feel like we don't deserve those things. So that's why I just stopped cutting the grass. And it's not that we don't care about the guidelines in the community did not care about what happened here. If I feel like a healthy community, a strong community, they care about every resident. They care about everybody that has children. They care about everybody, because you can't say that this is a peaceful community and nobody knows each other. You feel me? People stick to who they stick to, and that's how it's supposed to be, I guess, for whoever. But that's just the reality of what I went through. And I don't need people in this neighborhood to be like, oh, she's telling the truth, she's lying. I got screenshots. It doesn't even matter who they speak to in efforts to act like, well, this, that, and the third. Nope. I got my receipts, baby. You can say whatever you want to say. I already went viral. That shit went 674,000 people seen that shit. 75,000 people agreed with me. I don't care about anybody in this neighborhood trying to refute what I have to say, because fuck you. That's it. All right, so I dropped all the receipts to show you like about the grass part. So outside of the bicycle situation being one thing, that was just something else. So I thought over time, like, is it possible that the people that's mad about the bicycle, could they have damaged the property? And I thought about, like, you have to be proficient in those type of things. And I don't believe that those people were able to damage our property. And we have cameras all around our home. So that's when I knew, like, all the stuff that was going on, like this had to do with other stuff. So it was just so much things going on all at one time. And it kind of just like, you know, it just put me in a position where I was having battles with myself. And, you know, the only thing that really helped at that time period was smoking weed. Like, that was really it, because I just felt like there's not much I could do about it. I could sit in my house all day and be angry and stuff like that. But if I do anything in terms of where I try to fight fire with fire, I'm going to be the only person that ends up in jail. So that's why I felt like every situation I had to approach it, like, no matter how mad I got, no matter what I said, I always tried to remain calm to a point where I don't go to jail. Like, that's the most important thing for me, because I don't have a crazy record. Like, I probably got arrested for, you know, hopping the turnstile in New York, and that's basically not paying $2.25. So when it comes to things like that, I don't have a record. Like, there wasn't really much of a reason for these things to happen. And I just feel like it wasn't a distraction. It wasn't something that saved my life or anything like that. To damage somebody's home for no reason and then to bother them through the Wi-Fi, there's no explanation for that. There's no attention grabber. There's ways that people can communicate, which is having a conversation, which is, you know, if anything was going on, you know, speak to somebody. And that's what I realized, that's when it wasn't just that. So we also experienced, I experienced, like, the power shutting off for no reason. Like, we don't even have consistent hot water running half of the time. So, like, the water will be hot for a certain amount of time. Like, it's just so many things that we probably should have contacted the HOA with and stuff like that. But I felt like after the first 2 times I went over there speaking to them about my concerns with what was going over here, I felt like it was a waste of time. So that's what we've been dealing with ever since then. And my family members may feel indifferent to what I went through. One, my brother was never really around, so I would not expect him to back me in anything. So that's why I made sure I had my receipts and all that other stuff. It was this one time, and I thought, like, did I get drunk or was I so high that I bruised myself? And one day I woke up, I had a bruise on my wrist, and I didn't know what happened. Like, you feel me? I couldn't put it on my dad. I couldn't put it on my brother. No, he's not around. My father wasn't walking over here. So I went through stuff that I thought, like, maybe I'm going through psychosis. Maybe something is wrong with me, and the fact that all of these things that are happening right now, maybe I'm just loosed out on drugs. But then I realized I've been smoking marijuana since 2016, and I've never encountered anything like this. And let me say, I got laced before at a party, but that's a temporary thing. I don't feel like there's any counteractive results from that or reactions to that moving forward in my life, because I've always had jobs. I had multiple jobs down here since I've been here. But after going through these things, I took a break from work. I took a break from everybody and everything. And that's when I fell in love with music. Like, I basically would write 5 or 6 songs per day because I had nothing else to do. And now it's like, this is the thing that keeps me going. This is the thing that I fell in love with, because that's the only thing that captures my pain. That's the only thing that's freeing. And when I started writing, I realized I started becoming better, because, you know, I had the ability, when I had my car, I can go to the beach and I can write music and all that. And then after that, it became more of a thing for me to sit in my family room and just keep on writing and just keep on pushing. And then now I actually have music on streaming platforms. I made my own music video in this same complex. Like, I did what I had to do while having no money. So outside of all of these things that were going on, I still was able to push my dreams. And I feel like one day a lot of people are going to vibe with my music because it's not fake. It's not me pretending. This is authentic. It's not spreading negativity. It's just me being comfortable with just, when I make my pop music, like my hyper pop music, I feel good. Like, I don't feel like, this is a message where, oh, run down on your ops or this, that, and the third. I'm not this big, aggressive woman. I have music where I do talk like that, but I want to promote positivity. Like, when people hear me, they feel good. Like, it's timeless. When you listen to music from the 90s, it's timeless. Like, you feel me? It's not only is it contagious, but it makes you feel good, So music is energy. So that's what I've been focused on, is creating positivity around this travesty. And to me, maybe I'm taking it to the extremes, but I just feel like for all that it was worth, the only thing that I really lost, because, I feel like money doesn't equal anything when there's no purpose for it. You could be the richest person on the planet, but if you have all those riches and now everything is completed, what else is there for your life? You feel me? That's why I feel like I'm not in no rush to get anywhere. I'm not in no rush to do nothing. And there be times where it's like, I feel sad or whatever, but it's just because the surrounding environment that I'm in, outside of dealing with the people with the bicycle, now I have to deal with that. And I just feel like, is there a end goal, like I said before, for me to be comfortable here? Because I'm going to force myself to enjoy this trip. And it's not a trip, it's a move. We've been here for 3 years. So my father is old. I don't really see him like, doing too much because he stays in the house a lot. So do I. So that's why I'm saying, imagine someone only being inside their home, and when they do go somewhere, it's like to the beach, or is it to the park, or it's not places where it's like you encounter, drama. So that's what I'm so confused about. Like, how can this neighborhood be so beautiful? There's people in this neighborhood that walked by and saw these things. There's people that knows what's going on, that knew, and people act like it was just nothing. And that's why I took it to TikTok, and it got a lot of attention. And for me, it made me feel good at the time, but it's just like, it's not going to do anything, because that man is not racist. What's the real reason you did that? Like, did you need to know if we can cut grass? Do you think that cutting grass, my thing is, do people think cutting grass is this mastery skill? This is why I be telling people, yo, a degree is important for acknowledgement and basically sticking through a course. But the fact that we have the internet where you can learn anything off of YouTube or anything through an ebook or even a library, that just means that if you have the drive, the capability to put your mind to something, you can achieve anything, like literally anything. And that's what I did. And I felt like after I proved myself, it didn't sit well with them, because it's like, we said this. Because I know in order for someone to damage our property like that, you had to have said something. And that's the only reason why. And that's what I've been doing this whole entire time. Been proving these people that have problems with me and my family wrong the whole entire time. And now, when I walk through my neighborhood, I don't keep my head down. I just mind my business. It's the same thing I did on my old block. I don't meddle in drama, and I don't care about the stuff that people said about me. I stand on the forefront of everything, because I feel like you don't know who I am. I know who I am, and that's the most important thing. So this video was basically to show people, like I did on TikTok, that this is what people do when you're leveling up. And it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't even have to be recognition. It's just growing within yourself. So outside of all of these things, I'm growing as an individual. And I'm just eager for my life to just, really be meaningful in a way where people get to see me. Because I felt like I was being hidden and trapped in my mind because people were doing things. It wasn't because, okay, you're experiencing psychosis. I literally got thrown off my course, and people wanted me to have accountability for something that I never said I didn't do. You get what I'm saying? Like, I never said I didn't take a bike. I didn't know who these people were. So that's why I was confused. Like, who the fuck are you? So with all of this being done and being said, I just wanted to drop the receipts and just, provide more content, because I feel like outside of the cooking videos, people don't really know who I am, and bit by bit, I'm being more comfortable on the camera and trying to show who I am. And, that's all I wanted to do. So thank you again.